A girl named Hope stared out the window as the gray clouds rolled through the sky. The dreariness outside had crept in, leaving her to sit with her thoughts. She watched as the water droplets slowly rolled down the glass and fell out of sight, like forgotten dreams. At this point in her life, Hope had thought the days would have been full of life and sunshine, but the rain was still pouring. What could have been still wasn't, and what was had not gone away like she thought it would. Hope picked up the thread and needle that she had started using years ago. The thread was pure white, soft and strong. She had been using it to sew a single garment with. She didn't know what the garment was going to be, but she knew she just needed to sew it. It had all started during one of the many rainstorms of life that had nearly killed her. The people closest to her that were supposed to love her turned out to be trying to destroy her. The very people who she thought were her friends were actually her enemies. It was during this storm that Hope was devastated, and her name no longer reflected what was in her heart. Instead of having hope of a better life, her heart cried out in despair. She felt as if everything was lost, everything, as if there was nothing to hold on to in order to feel secure, like she was drifting in a sea of waves. Although she was alone, terrified, and struggling, she knew that couldn't be the end. Somehow, with all she had left, she picked herself up and managed to move on from the damage the storm had on her life. In those moments, she started to sew the garment. It had been years since that fateful storm, and she had seen many other storms since then. Life had its way of raising her hope high, just to leave her watching it float away without her. The weight this put on her soul cannot be described in words. It's as if you're drowning and someone throws you a life preserver just to pull it away as you reach out to grab it. When hope in life gets taken away, it is a dreadful day. Through it all, this girl held tight to her thread and garment. It felt like the one thing she could hold on to and not worry that it would leave her. To her, it felt like the thread on that garment was this ongoing piece of hope that was woven through her days, the good and the bad. Although life had ruined her time and time again, she knew she wasn't done and God had more for her. Her story wasn't defined by the pain, but instead by what was to come. She knew if she kept going, then one day that the thread through her life would turn into a beautiful garment. And behold, that day came. Hope was right. The garment she had sewn was incredible. It was the most beautiful wedding dress you've ever seen. It was so pure, so bright, so elegant, like the one the bride of a king would wear. She put it on, and a loud voice was heard. Let us rejoice and be glad and give him glory. For the wedding of the Lamb has come, and his bride has made herself ready. Fine linen, bright and clean, was given to her to wear. Through her life, she held on to the one piece of hope that would never let her down. She spent her days preparing a beautiful gown to be worn for her king. The wedding of the Lamb had come, and she was ready. Despite the devastation of life, she had held fast to her husband, knowing that he would come to make her his bride. The girl named Hope had found the one thing in life that she could put her hope in, and he will never let her